Hi everyone, welcome to Mind Creature. Today I am here to teach about you about OOPS concept. First of all, I explain what is OOPS. OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming Structure. So in Python, Object Oriented language. So creation of object and classes has made it easy. Classes and object two main aspects of OOPS. So firstly, I introduce what classes and object. Class provide us blueprint for creating real objects are called class instance. Class is container for static data or function which are called classes object attribute. And now I'm explain how to declare class. Here is this is the syntax of class. First we declare first start in the beginning of syntax we use class keyword, and after that we are give the class name, and after that we have decided the parenthesis, and this is the body of class, and this is optional document section. And now we are declare static member declaration or method declaration. After after syntax of this class, now we will move to PyCharm. And here I explain how to implement class. First I will declare class. After that, I will object so that we use the class. And in last section, we use the static member of classes by using object. Now first I'm use class keyword, and after that we give the name, proper appropriate name, and this is a static member variable which are the predefined. And after that this is a static member function, and it will start with def keyword, and this is a predefined member in it. It's a constructor for initialize the member of the classes. And this is a user defined function, display count or display employee. This method used for to display number of employees, and give the information of about us employee name or salary. After that, in next statement we are explain here. After completed this class structure, we create a object, and here we are give the body to object. It's a name it's a it pass to value to class, like it's a name and it's a salary. Same as it is, we are declare object of to second object and give passing the value. And here we are call two methods, display employee to print the employee information. Now I will run. Yeah, now it's a name of first employee and salary, and it's a second employee's information. Now next topic is a overview of OOP terminologies. We have many of terminologies of OOP concept. First is class variable. A variable that is shared by all instances of class. Class variable are declared within a class but outside of any of the classes method. Class variable are not used as frequently as instance variable are. And the next is data member. A class variable or instance variable that holds data associated with a class and its object. Next, function overloading. The assignment of more than one behavior to particular function is called function overloading. Next, instance variable. It is defined instance variable, a variable that is defined inside a method and belongs only to current instance of a class. Next, inheritance, the transfer of the characteristics of a class to other classes that derived from it. Next, instantiation, the creation of instance of class. And next, last, object operator overloading, when a particular operator is assigned with more than one function is called function overloading. And okay, the next topic is uh, here I'm explaining the structure of class. First, class keyword, class body, init method, self argument, that means self user defined function. And here we are create object, assessing attribute. We are use dot operator to assess the attribute. And this is the display function to display the information of student. And now I'm telling I will explain some special function. We can also use some special function to normal state to use to get the attribute of a classes, like get attribute, has attribute, set attribute, delete attribute. Get attribute used to get the value of attribute from class. Has attribute it used to check the attribute which exists or not. It return boolean value. If is it exists, then it will return true, and if it is not exist, it will return false. And the next is set attribute. Set attribute is used to set the value of a object. Like in this example, we set the value of age 17, and when we append this statement, it gives us 17. And last is delete attribute. This function is used to delete the attribute, any attribute. Like in this example, we delete the age of the student. And there are some built-in class attribute like dictionary, doc, name, module, base. And this dictionary containing the class's namespace. Doc, it represents the documentation part of class if undefined. And the name, it gives the name of class. Module, module name in which the class is defined. This attribute made in interactive model. Basis, it is possible empty tuple containing the base classes in order to their occurrence in the base class list. And here we are and we are use these all built-in function like in this way, with the class name student, it's a class name. And it produce the result like this way. And now next topic is destroying objecting. uh, in Python, we are delete unneeded object automatically, which release memory space for other use. Python's garbage collection runs during a program execution and is execute when object reference count reach 0. And we all can also that is a destructor. In this statement, we are create object. After this keyword delete, we delete the object. Now here we are delete the object, and when we use the next time, it return a not exist error. Next, class inheritance. Child class inherit the attribute of its parent class, and you can use those attributes child class also override data member from the parent class. And this is an example of class inheritance. Sorry, this is the syntax of class inheritance. Here we are give the name of the class, which is a subclass, and here in parentheses we are declare parent class name, and these and subclass inherit the features of these parent classes. And class documentation, this section is optional, and here we are define the body of class, where we define attribute methods. And now I explain how to implement class inheritance in PyCharm. Yeah, this is a parent class, and it start with class name, the class keyword, then give them name of class, attribute, and it's a constructor to initialize the object, initialize the object, and this is and these are user defined function, and this is a subclass, and this subclass start with class keyword, uh, appropriate name, and here we are defining the parent class which inherit from inherit by class, a subclass, and this is a constructor part of subclass, and here we are define give the body of the subclass, and in this section we create object of the subclass. C is equal to child, and we call the child method of subclass, and it's also called the parent class method because it inherit the this parent class, so it call, and after that it set attribute by subclass object and get attribute. That means subclass object in assess all the method attribute of parent class. And now we are done. Here it show calling child constructor. It's a this, and next statement, and here we give the value by the object of subclass. Next topic is overriding method. Overriding is the ability of a class to change its implementation of method provided by one of its parents. This is done so if you want to change the functionality in the subclass. And there is a base overloading methods: init, delete, use for destructor, delete an object, represent. If we want to string representation, give you string representation of object. Next, string, a printable string representation, and says CMP, use for object comparison, to compare both objects with each other. So this is example of overriding. Now I will show how to implement operator overriding. This is a parent class, and this is a subclass, and the subclass is inherit of the parents class to define the parent name of in this section, and here it's override this method, my method. It's a parent class method, but in subclass we are redefine without changes of parent class. We can redefine the sorry we redefine the function of parent class. So here we are create object of subclass, and by using subclass object we call the parent class method, which are redefined by child class. Now I will run. Now we can see that in parent class we give the value of a is equal to 5, but in child section we redefine by 6 to give the value of a by 6. So in this section we can see the value of a is equal to 6, that is redefined by child class. And next topic is operator overloading. Operator overloading defining method for operators is known as operator overloading. Here we are explain how to implement. We give the example of a vector. In this section we are give the value of a or b, and here we are explain here we are the set the value of a or b, and that section we are add on the value of a or b with other variable. So in this, now here we are create object, and we add on both vector, and now I will run. In this example, the vector of two parameters are add on with each other. It's the first parameter of both vector 2 or 5 is add on, it's equal to 7, and 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. In this way we overload the operator in various method. Now next topic is data hiding. In Python, to hide objects attribute outside the class definition for security purposes, so that other variable outsider of the classes, other method outsider of the classes cannot change the value of inner classes. So that security purposes we use this concept of data hiding, and in Python data hiding we use the double underscore. And now I am explain how to implement data hiding. It's the first we uh, we create a class, and this is a data hiding variable, and this is declared by double underscore hide variable. This represent that this variable is hide hidden from the outsider of class member, and here this variable is used only for the class member. Like in this method, in this function, this function can easily access this hide variable, but if you want to access by another class member, another outside of class, it's not a possible, and it will show an error. So here it's use this variable, and now here we create object, give the value of object, and here we are print this object this we here we print the value of this variable. Now I will run. Here this code is given produce result. It's a 499. It's an increment every time. Now next topic is encapsulation and abstraction of data. One of the important advantage of OOPS is encapsulation of data. In this process, restricting access of some of an object's component and object internal are hidden from the outside object definition. So I'm already explained that we are hide the variable and method from outsider class, outsider function by hiding the data. And in OOPS concept, it encapsulate means wrap the data and function in a wrapper class so that another member functions cannot use this inner class member. And we are used to method get or set method so that the data cannot be used by another class member. And if any member outside of class use it, it produces an error. So um, this is a example. Here we are define name and it's encapsulate in this class data bind. And here we are give the here we are print a name, age and city of, give the information of student. And we are here give we a name. So friends, here we are create object print. So next topic is a data abstraction. It makes the program much easy, similar to functional abstraction. It is used to structure programs to operate on data abstraction to make assumption about the data. It basically deals with how data is manipulated. So in last, thank you for watching. For any queries, you can contact us at the link provided below. Bye.